What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a relatively quick update video because I actually have a lot of work to do. School just started. I'm taking a calculus in-person class and the workload is very big. I have a lot of coding to do that my tutor has given me. And let's get into the video. Let me update you guys on how I've been feeling, what I'm doing, and yeah, let's go. Okay, so let me start off with school, not coding. So basically, I'm taking mostly online classes at community college, but I'm also taking an in-person calculus course because I tried to do it online and it just doesn't work as well for me. I like to sit inside and listen to a teacher. And I'm pleasantly surprised with the teacher actually. She's very adamant and energetic about her job, which I like, even though like it's a community college. It's kind of, sad and depressing there, but definitely is the class itself is very fun. I try and, answer questions, help out. And I've done calculus before in high school, so I know a good amount of it already, so I'm doing pretty well. Now, let's get into coding. Basically, my tutor has been extremely impressed with me because I've been working hard and I've been advancing pretty quickly for the time I've started. So we've now moved on to a pretty important part in coding, which are called API requests, I believe. And there's also or APIs and fast APIs. And then he taught me these things called requests, which are post, get, patch, and delete, I believe. Basically, what these do are special requests that extract information from your code and information of what you're trying to get. So it's extremely crucial when you are eventually, let's say, having an app with user information. You need you need emails, you need ages, numbers. So you store those in these special formats that the API creates for you, and then you can send that information back and forth if it's ever changed or not. And this is very, very important when you actually have an interactive app that people use. So on top of everything I've been doing, I've just recently learned APIs, and I'm learning HTTPS is like the same thing. It goes hand in hand with APIs. The workload has been getting pretty large for tutoring, and he's now giving me apps to do and write, just the back end so far, because the front end nowadays, you need to know a rough knowledge. You need to have a knowledge of the front end and how to format, but AI will eventually make that and do what you want it to do. So front end is kind of later and it's a lot easier. So I've just been writing the back end, which is the function of the actual app. I just finished creating a Quizlet style app with my tutor, which I'm very proud of. And now he's given me another app to do before our next tutoring session, which I am doing. And it's going to be very fun now that I'm able to write small apps, and compared to a couple of weeks ago where I couldn't even, write print hello. Even though it is extremely difficult, I'm still doing everything I can to learn, keep working hard at it, because coding is one of those skills that you learn, and that effort you put into it can be multiplied 1,000-fold with the outputs versus the input of learning a coding type skill. Now, aside from that, I heard a really great philosophy by one of my favorite YouTubers, Alex Hormozy, a couple weeks back, and he said that there are seasons in life, pretty much, phases you go through where you work harder at some things or you don't at others. And he pretty much says to become the best, you can't do everything at the same time. And I do struggle with this because I play the piano, I like to work out, I like to hang out with friends, I like to hang out with family, I like to code, I like to do school. Not like to do school, but I do school. So I have 6 things minimum that I want to all increase and get better. Piano, for example, I want to practice a lot, but it takes too much time out of the day. Coding requires hours of practice, so I would see my families and friends less. Also, school takes coding time. So what I'm trying to get at and what he explained is there are seasons in life where you need to prioritize the main leverage skill that will lead you to your goal. And everything else is optional. Like I said, I removed social media and I got rid of all the distractions I have, pretty much, except for a couple shows I watch on Netflix. Anyway, it brings me to the point that coding, and this more is in the back, but coding is my major skill that I need to do. So I need to keep moving forward. And even, I've been working out every day, but I shouldn't anymore. I should probably work out 3 times a week or 4 times a week, because I seriously need to lock in on coding as much as I can, because the faster I can build the skill and the more hours I put, the more knowledge I'll get. And when I have more knowledge, I'll be able to actually create. And then when I'm able to create, then we'll see what happens. That was the update for the video. I didn't really go into my normal philosophical route on what I view about life, but I truly do need to get back to work and work really hard. And these videos are just documentation for the journey. And next video, when I have most of my work done and hopefully I'm still learning, I will be able to give a little more philosophical advice on how I view life and regrets and all of these things. So thank you guys so much for listening to the video. I know it was quick, informative, short, and sweet. I also want to really thank you guys for commenting on the videos. They are extremely thoughtful, and I reply to every single one and I read them all. Honestly, it's super amazing getting these comments from you guys, because I'm happy that we can share a aspect of life in common and that we can bond and talk over it. So with that said, thank you guys so much again for all the support, and I'm gonna keep putting videos out into the multiverse, and see you guys next week.